What's good? What's good? We are back with another Matic Monday, and I am glad to see you all back here. We have my wonderful co-host Tiffany Sports and Heels right here. Say hi.
Hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Where depending on where you're watching us from.
Yes, or whenever you watch this
Right, exactly. Happy
live
Monday.
now, but it's it will be on the channel for you to watch. And happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Yes, yes. I need to have my banner in the back like that. I just got this white wall in the back. But if you're first time here, this is a show about traveling, remote working, digital nomad, all that good stuff. We're going to help you out. We're going to give you some tips, some tricks, some leads, all that good stuff. And you can go back and watch it at any time. So we are here. Definitely subscribe, like, share if you know someone who would like this information. We have actually somebody talking. We have guest hosts, which we don't have tonight. We have been on a roll with these guests.
I know.
Um, what we had last week, we had our guy Bishop. We from Brazil, does the remote working. He has the band with his wonderful wife. We had the Tulsa Remote Show, which is was very informative. 10,000
Remote show.
for you to work remotely and to actually be able to also use that as a down payment on the mortgage. You have certain options, certain levels to it. Um, who else did we have? We had Rebecca,
Mm-hmm.
our other Brazil friend here. We've been really in the Brazil market lately.
Yeah.
So, but today we're going to go over some wonderful leads that Tiffany found. I found myself. Some good companies for you to look into. I had a friend of mine. I was sending a few to her the other day. She was like, "Man, you be finding them." I'm like, "Man, it's kind of like what I do." So,
And I found a new app for Black expats, digital nomads that might be of interest.
you know what? Too, once you brought that up, it made me think about remote. What was that name of that company? Remote
Wi-Fi artist.
Wi-Fi artists. Wouldn't that be dope to have like a black one like that too?
Oh, maybe we should start one.
I know, I know. You made me thought about that when you said the digital nomad stuff. But because I saw their little list, they have their little lineup of what they
Mhm.
got next year. They got a lot
Yeah.
of places. Um,
Yeah, they got next year. They've got a lot of good places for the remainder of the year. So what we're talking about, guys, is there is an Instagram group, Instagram of a company. Their name is Wi-Fi Artist, and what they do is you get to pick a package that includes all of your accommodations, your Wi-Fi. Um, it's basically a place where you can stay, and your trip, you're paying the cost of the trip to have all of that stuff kind of figured out for you. You don't have to try to figure that stuff out. Only thing you have to do is book your flight, and you get, I think, between 30 and 60 days abroad, and you can do. I mean, they've got a. It's pretty reasonable. I think it's around 2,500 for 30 to 60 days worth of accommodations. And you basically work, you live there for a time period. And they've gone all over the world. Their last location was Mexico City, I think. And
mm,
they've got, some interesting locations coming up. I know they're doing South Africa in September, because that's actually one I was looking at, was the South Africa one. And also they're doing Japan in December, but they're doing Barcelona, Thailand, Indonesia, as you can see, Portugal. Um, they're even doing Armenia, Thailand. So they've got
Mhm.
quite a few places. I was going to try to do the Mexico City one. But yeah, they've got quite a few locations that you can go, and it's literally just like a month, 30, at least 3 weeks worth of time. And actually, if you go to Wi-Fi Artist Instagram right now, I believe they're running a contest that there's a few things they want you to do as a part of that, and you get your accommodations and you get a trip. Basically, you pay for your flight, but you get to go and experience Wi-Fi Artists for 30, at least 3 weeks, for free other than your flight. That's a damn good deal to be testing out if you're interested in testing the waters on being a digital nomad internationally. That would be a fantastic opportunity. So if you can go find them on Instagram, um,
Mhm.
go to their website, you might be able to figure out what you need to do in order to enter that contest and maybe be a lucky winner.
Yeah.
I think they're announcing that too.
Was it the Barcelona one?
The contest.
Well, I
They're
see
in
what
it for enter to win. Yeah, that's it. And I think they just started this contest like last week, late last week, or I might have saw it this weekend.
Mhm.
So looks like Barcelona might be next.
Yeah, because it was in Mexico City when
Yeah,
we spoke to them, or going to Mexico City. Then I think they went to Lima after that. I think they went to Lima.
I think Peru was before that.
Or was it for that?
I think Peru was before that.
Yeah, I think it was actually, once I think about it. Because I think this is where they went to it was a game or something. Yeah, this is Peru. I remember seeing this. Um I can't really play that music too much. Um yeah, it's just different. It's really different, because I think about like myself. If I've worked remote, like I like that for a person who's probably like an introvert and really don't know how to move and travel while remote. They'll kind of give you your training wheels.
Yeah. And especially if you're interested, maybe you've done group travel for a long time, or you travel with as a couple, and you're interested in doing some solo travel. This is going to be safe and secure for you because you're not necessarily going by yourself. You're going to be around other individuals, and they plan activities to do as a group that keep you engaged in your surrounding community, should you choose to do some of those activities. So you're not just there like free balling it. They kind of break down where you're staying at, what kind of co-working space you'll be utilizing. um, you can do a private accommodation where you have your own room. You can also share a room. um, yeah,
Mhm.
which, if this is for someone who, this is really for anybody, but particularly for those who are interested in solo travel and don't necessarily want to be by themselves, or are a little squeamish about, oh, how do I do this alone? You can gotta get your, like you said, your training wheels on by participating in some of these travel groups. And Wi-Fi Artist, is one of those travel groups that specifically targets those digital nomads or those global remote workers that are interested in travel and work experiences, not just for, a week or two. This is 30 days or so.
Mhm. And it seemed pretty diverse, which I do like.
Absolutely. I see a couple of us sprinkled in there. So that's great to see. But, Black people globally have really picked up in the digital nomad space, making
Oh
themselves
yeah.
known, and, encouraging more of us to travel internationally and take these longer periods, which is, what we talked about on the show today is being free, how you can be free by working remote, and what that freedom brings you. And this Wi-Fi Artist is a perfect example of what kind of things you can be brought to once you break yourself from going in the office every day.
Mhm. Yeah, have a great little business model there.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of adult exchange program, except you're not exchanging; you're just going. There's nobody you're exchanging with,
Mhm.
in other words. But you get to, in a safe environment, get to share in the culture with like-minded individuals, and you're still working. So it's not so much seen as a vacation, but you absolutely get to do adventures. This, I mean, as we're watching these videos, this is what your after work hours would look like.
See, that's the thing I'm thinking now. Like, is this truly after work? These are like this middle of the day. Like, I know myself, I probably like, is it really geared towards people who work for a corporation or people who are digital nomads, where you kind of, you create your own schedule?
I think it's a combination. When I look at some of these posts, not these posts in particular, but posts like these, a lot of the stuff is happening Friday afternoon, Saturday,
Okay.
and Sunday
Okay.
on the
Okay.
weekends.
I
Um,
got you. I got you. I
and
got you.
as you see the evening ones, I bet you these are happening during the evening time, because a lot of those guys, I remember I talked to somebody and they said they work 14-hour days. So obviously, some of this stuff is not going to be available to them during the week. But hell, even just on the weekends, if you're able to do stuff like this just on the weekends alone, I mean, it's worth it just for that.
Yeah, yeah. You got the weekends. You do have the weekends. I forget about the weekends.
So yeah, your more adventure stuff might be on the weekends, but you still get to live the life ingrained in whatever community
Yeah.
you're in,
Little
participating in the
bar.
culture, whether it's going out to dinner. I mean, think about it. You don't have to go to dinner by yourself if you don't want to. You can, you know, go out with the people that are there. You can go do cultural experiences with others if you don't want to. This is really great, whether you're introvert or extrovert, because you get to, basically build your own experience here without having to actually build your own experience. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay, so this is the rest of their lineup for the year. They go into the country of Georgia, Barcelona next, Cape Town, Phuket, Bali, and Osaka. They're gonna end the year off in Osaka, Japan. I
Yeah.
think this is really dope, man.
If it was Hong Kong, I'd be trying to get on that.
Why that? Because they had the
Because Hong Kong, I always
NCAA.
want to go to Hong Kong.
Huh?
I always wanted to go to Hong Kong.
Oh, okay. Let me run over into the chat, man. Let me stop being so rude. Um Hola Mocha Bella. Thank you for coming
Sak
in.
passe, Mocha.
Yes. Melvin, what's good? Oh man, I appreciate you, Melvin, man. We trying to get it there, man. Trying to get everybody thinking like you, man. Um, they just don't know just yet, man. Trying to get them out that cubicle, man. You know, get them from having John looking at them, staring at them and coughing over there. He still probably got COVID and stuff.
Thanks
Um,
everybody for coming in the chat room. We are chatting live on YouTube.
yes, yes, yes. You know what? I meant that we need to do a call-in show, man. We need to have if they just they want to call in. Y'all want to call in tonight? Y'all want to come on the show? Anybody want to come on? I'm gonna throw the link in the chat, and y'all can come and sit up with us. It's Juneteenth, man. This is a party. This is a party show. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do a little business first, and then we're gonna drop in the chat. If somebody want to come in, they don't have to talk about a job. They can just say, "Hey, man, I just wanted to say what's up." They can come in. Definitely hit that like button. Oh, we got Tiffany Poodle in Portland with the $5 super sticker. I appreciate that, Tiffany.
I'll actually see Tiffany next month when I head to Oregon for the World Championships. I will be hooking up with Tiff while I'm out there. I'll be in Portland for a few days prior to heading to Eugene. And so, yeah, I'll be hooking up
Oh,
with Tiffany while I'm there.
If you would like to join, that is the link to come in and say, hey, you don't have to even put your video on. You can just leave it without the video if you want. Hit the link. And so all right, so let's jump to some jobs. Even if y'all want to jump in and talk about this job, we can break these jobs down. Okay, I had that first one you sent me.
Smith AI.
No.
I'll talk about the app first.
Oh yeah,
App first.
where is the what's the name of it?
It's called Expat App.
Expat app.
Mm-hmm. And it was designed specifically for other Black Americans who are living abroad. And the feed is similar to Facebook. So you can like their post and connect with people, get information.
Is it in the Google Apple Store?
It should be in all Play stores.
What is it called? I'm sorry, say it one more time. What's the name of it?
It's called Expat App.
Expat app.
I'm gonna download it too and take a look.
Oh, with the X?
Yep.
X18?
Yep. It's called the Expat App. It's black with purple and orange.
Interesting. May need to get them on the show.
I know.
Of course, she found this via TikTok.
I mean,
Did you?
I can't confirm or deny that I might have found this via TikTok. I cannot confirm or deny. But I will give a shout out. Let me see.
Unique needs and interests of people of the African diaspora who live abroad, and is designed to inform, engage, and inspire. This is awesome. Okay, let's see these reviews. These reviews tell it all now. I love this app. I was on it last year, but I had to pause. But now I'm back. Great community, safe space for Black people. Safe space for. She made it seem like it's the runaway Underground Railroad or something.
No, I think it's important that Black people know that the information in the app is provided for and by other Black people. So that's an important thing to people.
Like, oh Lord, they ain't gonna find us in that X app. No, not that expat app. Love hearing the comments from expats. I'm hoping to make the move overseas soon. This app is exactly what I needed. Okay, so this is more like just what it said, expat app. I'm sure you probably can talk about some jobs and stuff. It's so funny actually. Once I think about that now, I'm in a Mexico expat group just by willy nilly, and a lady said in that expat group she needed a remote job. She moved to Mexico because her husband got deported. She was able to financially take care of the family by herself based on her remote job, but she lost that and she was looking for I think she was doing a sales remote job, and like sales that went down or something like that. And I guess they probably did layoffs off something like that from what I understood, and she was looking for a remote work in that expat group. So
Mm-hmm.
just trying to, but they was beating her up though.
Why?
Because of the way, I guess the way she just kind of came at it like, hey, anybody know any remote work, and people just like, dude, can you tell your skill set first before you just say like what kind of remote work you looking for and this and that. I'm like, man,
Right.
y'all bugging, man. Just like if you have something, just hey, I know they doing remote over here, I ain't, we giving out remote jobs and not knowing people's skill sets. It's just a variety of stuff you just throwing out.
Yeah, and today some of the opportunities I found that we'll talk about are entry level. So we're talking, you know, if you're a college student or you want to get a remote job, part time or switch industries, this can get your foot in the door, um, somewhere.
Right, right, right. And that's what I always tell. I was on Brown Liquor. We both was on Brown Liquor. Brown Liquor Baron. He's been on the show. He wanted to talk about remote work.
Yeah, we were on Friday night. You guys can go back to Friday's show, the 17th, on Brown Liquor Baron on YouTube and find the show that Adrian and I were on.
Yes, and he was keep saying like, oh, Tiffany and Adrian, they make over 100,000, and I'm like, man, see that's where this social media thing is pushing this 100,000, six figures type stuff, man, and you can't really push that like that, man. You ain't you wasn't in the gym shooting when we was in the gym shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
when we were making 28, 38, 48, like we climbed. It wasn't like we just got a six-figure job. Even after my several certifications, I didn't have six figures. It
yeah,
wasn't
so,
until I moved around that I could or could not have made, you know, could have, could be at six figures. I could be. I won't
right,
confirm or deny that. But I remember the days of making $15 an hour. I remember the days of making $42,000 a year. I remember the days of making, $68,000 a year. And then, gradually going up from there.
right, right, right.
But it was a battle. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, and definitely when you got that barrier of being, of your skin tone. They not so willing to give you six figures when you look a certain way.
Well, and they ask you, what's your range? What kind of range are you looking at salary wise? And oftentimes, you know, we get questioned when we give our answer. Oh, it's always that. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the good thing about IT. Like if you discriminate against other ethnicities or color, like your building gonna collapse, man. Your company gonna collapse. A lot of the people that look like this, they don't code as good as them the other guy. I got some people on my team that are white and they can code really good, but these Indians and Asians, they kick butt
Yeah.
on their coding. So you if you do the work, you put the work in, you can call your own shots majority of the time. Majority of the time. Majority of the time. So let's get into that top towel.
Yeah, the first
When
company
you
is called Topto. So
oh,
I just want to mention that this list of employers, um, including the Smith AI, I only gave employers that will allow you to work globally because we think it big. We're not thinking small for you guys. We thinking big. We thinking you want to be a digital nomad. You want to be able to work from Mexico or or Manhattan. You know, anywhere in between. So every one of these places you can work from anywhere in the world. You're not tied to the U.S. solely.
Yeah, I put some on my. I think some a lot of people saw my saw my last reel where with my sugar mama, where she was yelling at me about not coming to the house anymore because I was working remote in Colombia, and she was tripping that I ain't come by. So I tell her, hey, I can work anywhere in the world now. I ain't got to take all this abuse at the house. So a lot of people was like, man, where you at? Where you at? And so I placed on my stories, which is probably going. I probably need to pin that or something. Um, those were actually U.S. based. Okay, so let's back up for a moment too, because I think we've discussed this before, but not in depth. Where what you were saying, these are all international, because that's a misconception as well too, with a lot of these TikTokers that they'll say, "Hey, I'm working here in the cubicle," and boom, they'll show up in, or just like I said, I showed up in Santa Marta, Colombia. I'm working remotely,
Yeah.
but my contract is not a remote role outside of the U.S. If you
Right.
work for a U.S. based company, 8 times out of 10, you have to be within the continental U.S. You can't even do like I did one time. I went to Puerto Rico. That's really not continental. So, but it's still a U.S. Web IP address. So
Yeah.
I kind of bend the rules a little bit on that one. But there's ways around it if you want to be rogue, if you want to live on the wild side, like myself. You can do a VPN and you can do all that stuff, and I can tell you that on the side. But there are some companies like we're going to show here that, regardless if you're in the States or if you're you want to go abroad, you want to work in Spain, you want to work in Portugal, you want to work in Africa, they're not going to trip, So there's a difference. And a lot of times more of your digital nomad roles where you're a freelancer, where you get a 1099, you're not on a W-2, or you work corp to corp. Usually you can work anywhere in the world for that employer. But
Yeah. And to add to that misconception, just because you don't see it in the handbook does not mean that they don't have some kind of policy. So you always want to check, and we can talk about ways you can check. Maybe we can, make that a topic in the next show, but you can check to validate whether or not they will allow you international travel. Some places will allow you to go to Mexico and Puerto Rico, but they won't allow you to go outside of that. Some places they have countries that they absolutely put on the list as being, absolutely cannot travel there. And there's some countries that won't allow you. I mean, some places that won't allow you to do anything at all. And speaking of that, before we go any further, I want to add that there are companies now, because there's just push to go back to the office. We've talked about that before, but I think it's gotten even more prevalent now, because Facebook previously had, or Meta previously had, a work from home policy that allowed you to work full time remote. And a matter of fact, a lot of their workforce was hired full time. And they recently updated, as in the last week and a half, or under 30 days ago, they updated their remote work policy that says you have to be working from the city and state that you live in. And if you're not going to be working from there, you cannot work in another location longer than 2 weeks consecutively without approval. So again, that's why I want to make sure that, previously during COVID, there were a lot of remote working policies that were put in place to, but you want to make sure you're constantly checking before you book those trips. If the policies change, what's been changed, where can you go, where you can't go, how long can you go, how long you can't go, just to keep yourself on the safe side, because it is your job.
Right, right. And there's all tax implications behind all of that. Is really the it's not like they're trying to keep you locked in. I thought this was remote. They're trying to keep me locked in. It's because of tax reasons. You're paying taxes to work remotely in the county state that you're in. When you get paid, them taxes that are being allocated out of your paycheck are based on the zip code that you live in, where you have on your employee information. It's based off of that. So if you're in California and you working there for 2-3 months, you're supposed to be paying taxes in California,
Right.
state taxes or whatever. So that's the reason why that is the case. All right, so we have here TalkTalk. Tell us about TalkTalk, Tiffany.
You can work anywhere in the world.
It is
They
the
don't-
largest fully remote company globally.
Yep, and they believe that we don't care about where you're working from, as long as you get your work done. We don't, we don't think about the location as much. We just want good people, and work wherever makes you happy.
Yeah, man, you found the largest one. How did you find the largest one? Let's see what opportunities they have. Um,
And
oh,
for those who are not in IT, again, we stress this every time we show these jobs. You do not have to work in IT to be a remote worker, and you don't have to work in IT to be a remote worker that's working for a global company that allows you have the freedom to travel and move around as you please. We see some business development roles. Can you scroll up a little? Some operations roles. Um, you
I
know,
guess I'm up here looking for myself right here.
There's a marketing role here with the director of marketing analytics.
Can I go back? Can I go back? Oh, thinking about it. Oh, okay. I see what happened. It brought up a second tab. Yeah. Here we go. These are we got that senior business analyst right there. I need to check that out.
Me and Adrian are always looking for opportunities for ourselves, so y'all have to forgive us because
Hey, this is major now. This is major where they say you can work anywhere in the world.
yeah. So if those of you who have gotten into content design, get your portfolio together. Find people who are local business people who you can create content for them and build your portfolio and start applying for these content jobs, social media jobs. They are out there and they are available.
They got that product manager.
Mm-hmm.
Hot one there.
Yeah, and they got an associate one too, which means you don't have to be,
Yeah, I was talking about. You want to be a product manager?
So they've got executive, they've got some finance position, payroll specialist. I mean, come on, guys. Somebody's working in HR doing payroll right now, going in the office every pay period to go do this work. You ain't got to do that no more. Come to Toptal, work as a senior payroll specialist, work remote, work from anywhere in the world. You can do payroll from a beach in Hawaii or, sitting at a cafe in Barcelona. Like, don't limit yourself. Start looking at some of these opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you, Jay Clyde, for that comment in chat. He said, "Don't take a job near you; they will try to convert you to hybrid or something." And that is absolutely positively true.
Bingo.
Do not, unless you really want to. Like if you're wanting to remain 100% remote, your best bet is to take a role out of state or out of the country.
Yeah, this one is a nice one right here. I know a few people in payroll too.
Thank you, Jay Clyde, for that comment.
Yeah, that was I think we spoke about that a while back.
Now we spoke about it personally. I know here
Oh
in
yeah, oh yeah,
Ohio,
yeah.
I've gotten a lot of buzz from some Fortune 500 companies that are located within, the Ohio region, and
Yeah,
they keep coming to me, and I keep telling them no because they want me to be hybrid. Just 1 or 2 days in the office is what they say, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
That,
interested.
he was talking about that, and that's yeah. I was telling you how I when they hit me up and they kind of catch me on the phone or something, they be like, I got this cool. Actually, even if they email me, I tell them I'm in Nebraska or something like that, and they'll be like, oh, then they'll either say, oh, it's remote, or I'll keep you in mind because or whatever. But the hybrid as well too. The hybrid is a trap. The hybrid is a trap. It is a flat out trap because I worked hybrid before the pandemic, and you're gonna sometimes be in. I mean, you had to kind of like flexible. I mean, flex it a little bit because sometimes it was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was in the office, but then like you know Tuesday, Thursday, I got an important client that I need to really be face to face with and stuff. So I kind of got to have run them down sometimes, and so being in the office actually helps me to corner them in or whatever.
Yeah.
But you find yourself going back in there like for a meeting, and you're there half a day. You get in the car and drive back, and then get home to like 3 o'clock. You might as well just stay at the office or whatever. So
Right. And that was Kesey, kicking it with Kesey, who gave that piece of information, uh, not Jay Clyde. So thank both the fellas for
okay.
being in chat
Oh
today.
yeah,
They
yeah, yeah, yeah,
had
definitely.
both of them on the show. So, but thanks for that tidbit of
Yeah,
information.
I need to get back with Kesey, man. I I don't know if I want to do this or not, but I like that security a little bit. I'm interested in it, but I know that security is a whole nother world, being a security analyst versus a business analyst. And I don't know if I want to start back over like that. But security, hyper cybersecurity is a big it's a big industry that's going to be booming in the next 5 years or so. It's booming now, but it's going to be even crazier in the next 5 years or so. Yeah, we got Jake Clyde in the building. I need to get some sound effects and stuff on the show. Um,
Okay, so what's the next? What's the?
yeah, let's move on to the next one. Well, I told you one of them was kind of not right, but um gosh. Oh,
Did you go to Smith AI's
yeah.
website?
Now you didn't give me one of that one you didn't provide that in the chat. Smith AI?
Yeah, it's the first one. Smith AI looking for virtual assistants.
No, no, you gave me top to Upworthy, Buffer,
Love that.
GitHub,
Oh,
base.
you were. You know what? This was when you were here. It's when
Oh,
you were logged off. Now it's the last one.
okay.
This company, Smith AI, this is strictly entry level. This is like I mentioned earlier. This is for those who are looking for a part time or full time remote opportunity. Maybe um, can start. You're willing to start off at $15 an hour. You get paid training if you're working outside the U.S. So those who are watching that are outside the U.S. but looking to work for a global company, they're paying $11 an hour. And they're looking for virtual assistants. All they need is strong typing and computer skills. You're paid weekly. Bonus if you speak Spanish. Obviously, you're going to make a little bit more if you're bilingual.
Hola, amigo.
But again, you work 100% remote from anywhere in the world. So maybe you have a full time opportunity and you're looking to add something part time that's remote. This will be a great opportunity for you. For those who are heading into college, you're looking for a remote opportunity. And you're providing, back office support, virtual assistant supports to corporations and companies and business people all around the world. So you're doing chat, email, and Slack communication. So yeah, this will be a great place to hook up with people, and get a role paying weekly and supplement your income or make it your primary income in one of these, South American countries. $11 an hour can go a whole long way. I'll tell you that now.
It surely could.
Yep.
It surely could go long. Um, shit, they talk. Oh, based out of the U.S. Okay, they have the breakdown here. If you're in the U.S., $15 to $16. Okay.
And I wanted to bring at least one entry level position that pretty much, if you've worked front desk anywhere, if you've been a student advisor, a residence advisor, you've worked in customer service, you've worked in, at a restaurant, maybe you're a hostess. If you've, pretty much everybody has computer skills these days. This will be a great opportunity for you to take all of those things that you do, and do it remotely. And it looks like they're full time or part time. Um, and 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, part time. I mean,
Yeah.
it says you should apply. So these are your transferable skills. I talk about this all the time when we're talking about these roles. You're switching industries. These are the skills they're looking for. They want strong typing, multitasking, access to internet, flexible work hours, professional, confident communicator, can smoothly and quickly speak Spanish. I mean English while I stumble over my words. You need to have a laptop and or desktop computer, reliable broadband, strong typing skills, at least 40 words per minute with some great accuracy. They've given you some links to practice. Um, and like I said,
Mhm.
they start off at $15 an hour. They give regular bonuses. They've got healthcare benefits for those who are working over 30 hours a week. And if you're international, those who are living international and are international outside the US, you can still work for this company, at $11 an hour.
Man, that's cold blooded right there. See, this
Yeah.
is for people who are like expats, retired. You're trying to get some supplemental income coming in,
Mhm.
some little play money, some little chica money. You got it right there. That is that's another good one, Tiffany. It's another good one.
And I want to shout out the key maker who added a great comment and where and on here in the chat, and he said, "Router plus VPN for the win." And he's absolutely right.
Yeah, key maker. He out there, I believe in Medellin.
Okay.
Good. Or somewhere in Colombia. I appreciate you coming through. I saw him mention that the other day. Express VPN, I believe it's called. Express routers or something like that is another. We need to do a whole show on just routers.
Oh yeah.
Like how actually that may be something because I have been looking at routers, um, how to set up, do the setup and all that stuff. And a lot of people actually I saw a guy on a VPN review talking about, hey man, I'm in Atlanta and I'm trying to travel remote and how do you set it up? How do you set the VPN up? He was going through some problems with trying to set it up remotely so he can
Yeah.
work remotely from his hotel, I believe he was in. But yeah, that people trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Key maker is in Brazil.
He's in Brazil. Okay. I could have sworn he was oh, my battery's going dead. Okay, give me 1 minute for my battery goes dead. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, I want to read some of the comments that are in chat. Kesey says that he has a warning. He said, I have a guy who was dismissed for logging in the Dominican Republic. He works for a bank, and they don't play that. So yeah,
He did what happened again?
he had a guy who worked for a bank who logged in from the DR. Banks don't play that. They've got that proprietary information. Probably the same with healthcare places. You don't
Oh, he
want to
didn't
be.
have a VPN, huh?
Well, I
Now,
guess not.
sometimes you can get exposed through the VPN, just like what our guy Jay Cloud was talking about um, with that. Um,
This is why I said check, 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 triple check, quadruple check what their policy is about remote working internationally. They usually don't care domestically. When you ask about remote working from, traveling, they're assuming that you're meaning domestically. You've got to ask the right questions to let them know that it's international, whether it's a direct question or not. Um, you know, yeah.
mhm.
Kesey said he got caught because you have to log into their VPN already.
Okay, so that's where I was going with somebody who's working on a company laptop. There's already, and shout out to my guy Jay Clyde. See, there's already your work laptop is usually going to be configured to where you can do a VPN with a key, or it's
Yep.
going to where it automatically is cached to the actual computer, where you log in and use your username is kind of like a math or whatever, where it automatically just kicks everything off based off the login, and that's how mine is. So I could not. It's going to probably search for the Wi-Fi. If I probably have to toggle the Wi-Fi off, probably put it on airplane mode, and then once I turn it on, put it on airplane mode so that it won't search for an IP address. I mean, for a
Mhm.
Wi-Fi signal. But have that router already configured, and the express routers is what Jay Cloud was using. And so once you configure that to Cincinnati, or for me Atlanta, then you get your VPN to pull in that Wi-Fi signal, um, and then you're good. But if not, you can get caught up. You can definitely get caught up. So that was my thing too, just the VPN on the actual work computer,
Yeah.
where I was trying to figure out how all that works out.
Well, good thing for you guys, the audience. We're providing you jobs where you don't have to worry about all that checking because we're giving you opportunities today where you can work from anywhere.
Anywhere. I think we already went through WordPress. Um,
Did we go through Treehouse?
we didn't go through Treehouse. I know we did Buffer. Let's do Treehouse.
Okay.
What is Treehouse? I know that's gonna pull up so many things. May pull up an actual Treehouse. Actually, um,
Here.
we're connecting students to employers. I think I did find it.
Where I found it. It's treehouse.com, teamtreehouse.com.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. Is it? Yeah. Now, is it? We're partnering with employers around the globe to provide our students with amazing job opportunities. Want to put your job posting in front of a huge audience. Um, so people. Okay, so careers. Let's look at the actual company, which I think this is the actual company's information. These are all developer. They got a little hybrid mixed in here too, but
I think it's Treehouse Foods.
Treehouse Foods.
Yeah.
All right. Treehouse. Ooh.
I know they have a bunch of remote positions. Let me see if I can find the category remote.
Okay. Well, send me that because I don't really have much on that. Let's see. Let's go to the chat again. Um, I was saying too, if anybody want to come in and I'll throw the link out there again. Copy. Want to come on and chat with us?
Did we do Airbnb? Because we know Airbnb lets you work remote.
Yeah, I know we spoke about that a couple of times. We can go over the roles there. It says brutal in this chat. Is somebody tripping in the chat? You said I now have 8 young men mentoring into IT. That's good, man. That's good. I probably got about 2. I mean, I tell a lot of people about it, but you know, I tell them they got to put the work in it, man. You got to put the work in on this IT, man. A lot of laptop hours in on this thing, man. Yeah, hybrid, no sir, man. If it says in the header on the email on site day one, man, I delete it for you.
Yeah, I don't respond to them. I've and usually when I don't respond, they call, especially if it's in Ohio. Right now, I want to say there's a lot of state and federal contracts going out right now looking for resources, and they're securing resources. The thing is, those state contracts or state roles aren't, especially here, they're not going to be in a salary range, and they're hybrid. They want you to come on site. Um, I mean, and if that's your thing, if you've not been remote before and you want to try a hybrid role, I'm not discouraging you from doing that. The show is titled "Freedom with Remote Working." We're talking about how being remote gives you freedom. So if you've not never been a remote worker and you want to test the waters, I absolutely agree. Hybrid would be a model that might work for you. And then that could get that under your door. You can get that on your resume as being a partially remote resource, because remote work isn't for everybody. I know people who after the pandemic, they were really happy to go back into their workplace on a daily basis because they didn't like work from home. They weren't able to find the benefits for them out of it. So we you and I, we talk a lot about remote working for on a full-time basis. But there are people out there who would prefer to have the hybrid model where they're going in the office 1 or 2 days a week and then remote the remainder of the week, and they're perfectly happy with that. So
Right.
I don't want to shame people who do want to go into the office for one reason or another. We're here just to encourage you to find these roles that offer you that flexibility in your life. That's really all we're trying to encourage you to do.
Right, definitely. Cause some of y'all people married, man. And y'all done left y'all work wife and work husband at the job, and y'all need to rekindle that. So,
See, that's a whole nother topic.
not,
That's a whole
not,
nother topic.
or you trying to get away from your nagging husband or nagging wife or nagging kids? I understand that. So,
Some people don't like being at home a lot. It's not really that they don't, they have somebody at home, but when you work from home, you're at home a lot.
yeah. And some people, I'm telling you, jobs have saved marriages. There's a lot of people that got divorced because they had to go home to their real wife. I'm telling you.
I'm not subscribing to that
Like,
conversation.
man, shoot, I got to go home and be on her. Man, I'm telling you, when that pandemic, they was like, man, I'll take this COVID if I could just stay in here. Like, you don't want to go home? We shut the office down. No, man, I can't go home to her. I can't deal with her 24/7. She gonna be at home too working. Telling you, boy.
Yeah, I just want to be clear that we're not shaming anybody. We encourage you, to build the life that you want for yourself. Um, Whether that's working full time remote, 5 days a week, or if that's a hybrid model. We just want to encourage you, especially to celebrate the fact that being remote offers you a different freedom in your life.
Yeah, Keymaker said he was in Medellin for 5 weeks. Y'all remember it was Medellin now, yeah. Now he in Brazil. Hey man, Keymaker, keep going, brother. Keep going. Definitely, man. Keep going. Kesey, where you at, man? Come on, hit the link, man. Chop it up with your people, man. Kesey said, "Oh, Warren, I have a guy who is okay. Yeah, come
Yeah,
on,
like
Kesey.
check where you're going. Check with your HR or whoever you need to check with to find out what the rules are around remote working. But man, you only get one life. Y'all weren't created just to work and pay bills and go home, and that's the end all be all. And you don't have to wait when you're remote working. The flexibility, you don't have to wait, especially if you get on one of these global companies we've talked about today. You don't have to wait for vacation to take that kind of travel or do the kind of traveling that you have envisioned for yourself. You really get to take your whole family on one of these adventures where you're working from Colombia or you're working from Brazil. Hey, Kesey.
To the
Hello.
show, my brother Kesey. What's
What is
good? What's
going on?
good?
All right, all right. How you doing there?
Oh man, I appreciate you coming on, man. It ain't nothing. Just
See, this
talking
Hey,
this
about work.
this is what I mean. I love the fact that we're talking about living the life that you want and the flexibility to do so. And Kesey has sitting in his sunroom somewhere on his property
Probably
in
got that
Georgia,
grill on.
enjoying probably a cocktail or something before dinner tonight.
yeah.
Uh, he works in software. He's definitely living the life that he wants. Him and his wife, beautiful wife and kids, travel quite a bit. She works and works in project management in software, I believe, as well. And
Marketing.
they're definitely living the life that they have designed for themselves, and working remotely allows them to do that.
Yes. In fact, she flies out tomorrow to go to Seattle for her job for the week. Um, Remote definitely post COVID has changed my life. You know what I mean? And Tiffany knows the details of that. But yeah, this definitely has changed my life. I'll say that. The funny thing is, I taught the business model inadvertently. I didn't even do it, but my son, who's 21, moved out the house 2 weeks ago, has looked at the business model of, I guess, what I'm doing and said, okay, you know what? I think I want to do IT security. So, he went and got this job, making way more money than a 21-year-old should be making. But hey, but he's living a great life. He's living in Midtown, 19th floor, overlooking the interstate, all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I didn't have that type of life, and I don't think I was supposed to have that life at 21.
Yeah.
Because I want it done right. But he's a different type of breed from who I am. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I was able to do that. Now the thing is, by him doing that, now he's got friends and we got family. We got people who are, I ain't gonna say you're too old. You're never too old, but you got people who come from other industries, come from working in the warehouse, working somewhere else, and they're like, okay, you know what? I want to do that too. You know what I mean? So it's like we're influencing. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
and I have to give it up. I got a guy named Frank who kind of put me on this path, who I have to credit. I always credit him with it. So me and him kind of start this mentoring thing. It's not even a quote unquote organized thing, but it's turning out that way. You know what I mean? And it may
Yeah.
turn into some consulting firm or something where we're hiring young Black talent in IT and technology, etc. So
Okay. I think I hear a show coming up. I hear a show.
I know, yeah.
How much are entry level security analysts or what role?
Yeah, so you got two different. You got analysts, you got engineers, you got of course you got support desk. All that stuff kind of ties into it.
Mhm.
I'll say this in the IT world, when you get into the support area, it's a little bit hard to get out of it. So you want to go into some kind of specialty to kind of get you out of that. You want to be that jack of all trade, help desk desktop person, because it gets a little tough to get out of that. So you kind of got to go into an area specialized like database or security or, or coding or something like that. That would really set you apart. And it's like the doors just keep knocking daily. You know what I mean? So it's an area that, we need to get in. There's a lot of people from overseas who are really jumping into it, especially the India and Pakistan. They really have embraced it. But for us, we haven't really done it, and we really need to really jump into it, harness it, embrace it, introduce it into our schools. And you know what I mean? It's even a little different because my son went a whole nother route because he said, I'm not finishing college. His second year college, he dropped out. We were mad as fire over here. So he took his own route.
So you are saying he got a role as a analyst without a degree?
That is correct.
Y'all hear that? Don't say it's not possible. You are looking at 3 people of color who are telling you, listen to these podcasts, go on these social medias, have conversations, and figure out how you can get some of these roles. Whether it's in software, I know people in insurance, these remote opportunities are going to change the quality of your life. And as Kesey has proven, the quality of your offspring's life.
Yep.
We're talking generational wealth, generational knowledge, generational lessons, teaching them to find spaces for yourself and make your own path.
So,
right.
Yeah, that's strong right there. I just told someone the other day about I think she only did a year or two maybe in college. And I told her it's not a deal breaker. Sometimes they are a little funny acting. But if you got the experience and you can talk the talk, it's all about talking the talk. Like they know within 5 minutes if you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So give the people a range, man, because money talk to me.
Let me say this. I ain't trying to put my son's business out here.
That's a range. That's a range.
He talked the talk to get his first job 2 years ago in COVID and became his first IT job straight out of dropping out of college. I'm like, okay, all right, you interviewed good. You know what I mean? He got into it. That was over 50K. I'll say that. All right.
Okay.
He started doing that. He worked there for 2 years. This new job, we'll say double that. Okay. Over double that. Mm-hmm. This new job, again, didn't have the skills. I can't say he didn't even get certified yet before he got the job. It was just the fact that he went, researched on what the job is, what the market is, and he can interview well. He sits in front of someone, whether it's on Zoom or whatever, and impresses them every time. These people are like, man, I've never met a young man as remarkable as you. And they hire him. I'm in here baffled. And the crazy part, me and my wife, we say we want him to, we say we want him to lose. Like, damn, he got it too easy here. But he keeps proving us wrong with everything.
Yeah. Well,
love to hear it.
He's been raised well, so that's the byproduct, man. Yeah, definitely. Because I don't know if you heard me in chat. I was saying that I'm thinking about, but sometimes I just be getting bored, and I'll be looking to, get my resume even sweeter. It's sweet now. Like I don't like to brag, but it is sweet. It is sweet. Right.
That's what's key.
But but you always want to stay ahead in this game. You always want to stay ahead. You always want to stay, 2 steps ahead of your next person, and this money, man. But I keep telling people, like your son pretty much put in the work, even though he talked his way into it. He didn't get to the bag until 2 years because he had to put that work in. Like you can talk the talk, but once you get there, you got to perform.
You got to put the work in. You got to perform. Now, the crazy part, I talk about my mentor, the guy Frank. So Frank started working there as well. So now that's his lead. He's like, man, don't worry, I got him. He said he's gonna be tight within a year. He's gonna be tighter than you are. I was like, dang. So everything falls in place for this guy. Now my guy who put me in the business is his lead over there, and they both got the job at the same time. Like this place, so yeah. It's about keywords.
Huh?
It's about keywords. So your resume, LinkedIn, Indeed, they're looking for these keywords, and as soon as you attract them with just these keywords on your resume, I know this product, work with this product, whatever, they're ringing you. After you get that, then you, like you said, most of the time recruiters ain't technical enough. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just trying to fill in the gaps. They put you in front of the interviewer. And at that point, that's when you sell yourself.
Right. And see, I was telling the story the other day about, like these TikTok and Instagram, YouTube reels and stuff will portray like IT is so easy to like transfer into. Yes, you can. You can transfer easy to it to get that shot, to get your shot in front of a hiring manager. But the hiring manager will know within 5 minutes if you know your stuff or not. Right. You know what I'm saying? They'll know if you bump this resume to look really nice and clean. And like you said, the recruiters don't be knowing A from B, but they're gonna put you in front of that hiring man. They put you in front of that hiring squad. And don't let it be like a 2-3 person panel.
The panel, right?
They'll come for you, man. And then I was telling my friend too, who she wanted to be in SQL. She talking about SQL. I was like, I told Tiffany in that in that live stream we had with my other guy, like she was saying like it's gonna be like technical interviews be like 5, 6, 7 interviews, which it could be. Yep. But if you get past that first technical one, they're not gonna let you go on to the next. They're not gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna give you a pass, and maybe you'll interview better." No, if you can't do them joins, and you can't if you don't know how them databases talk to each other, there's no need to put you in.
That's true. But again, that's also the same reason why I was mad. He was watching the TikToks and the YouTubes saying, "Yo, man, they said this." I'm like, "Man, you can't listen to that." So I'm over there. That's why I'm like, "What you're saying ain't making sense." And he proved me wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, it is some one-offs. I want to be clear when on social media, a lot of those people are trying to sell you services. They want you to let them do your resume, pay them to do your resume, buy their ebook. They're trying to get you. But at the same time, there's gonna be those. I mean, I'm one myself. I'm not supposed to be in technology at all.
Right. But the non-technical roles, you can kind of talk your way into it. The technical roles, you cannot talk you can talk your way into it, but the first interview,
you gotta have some backing, right?
It's gonna be technical.
You gotta aptitude,
and it's over. But like these PMs, like I finessed my way into being a BA. I pretty much talked my way into being faking it till you make it, But
bro. I forgot you're a BA. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm starting to lead a couple people into BA stuff. I forgot we need to talk to you offline too. That's it.
Yeah, and that's what I may send some people to you for cybersecurity, because I looked at it and I was like, oh, see, that's gonna be a whole not a whole 360, because you're still kind of gathering requirements a little bit, but like knowing all those GAN leave, what you call them? All them acts. You gotta know all them acts. You gotta know all those.
I got you, man. I already can get you straight, because I'm guiding people in the BA and in IAM. I can get you an IAM BA. I can get you that.
Because I've been getting some business analyst cybersecurity roles, but like there's like those 4 federal acts or whatever. You got to know the ins and out of those. I worked on a FedRAMP. You ever heard of FedRAMP?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, FedRAMP is a federal project, and I had to know certain. But I learned a lot too when I was at Equifax.
So that depends on the industry. You're working in those government contracts, and maybe some banks you may run into that, but you're not necessarily gonna run into that at some of these places. Just are putting cybersecurity and different tools in place just because they know that if their company's vulnerable, they have all these type of issues. But it depends on the industry. You know what I mean? So the industry you're speaking probably has a lot of things that are governing these things in place. But if it's just a car part place or something like, I don't know, Napa cars or whatever, some stuff like that, you ain't necessarily gonna have those same stringent regulations in it. You know what I mean? So like I said, I got you, man. Just ping me, and I'll definitely show you a couple things. I already got some emails I fired off to some people already to get it to start into BA. So yeah, you already there.
Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm there like full fledged there, and that's why I see like y'all do a lot of different things than we do on the cybersecurity role.
And see, the other thing about BA is I was a BA before. Just because somebody said that's your title, you're gonna be a BA. So I did that, you know what I mean? And then I interviewed for a real BA role during COVID, like taking on a role. And it was like, so tell me some of the tools you work with, or tell me some of the protocols of BA. I was like, I don't know. I was a BA, but I don't know. I've also been a program manager. I can't tell you a damn thing about program management. You know what I mean? So it's like they put these titles on you and give you these roles. So I don't.
And I roll with it. When they give me a title and give me a role, I was doing a Scrum Master like 2-3 years before I was ever a Scrum Master. Before I got certified in October of last year, but I started Scrum Master in 2017.
There you go.
Right.
And think about it, Tiffany, how many project managers out there who didn't get PMP certified? And that's the majority of everybody.
That's me.
There you go.
That's me. I am not PMP certified. And not going to. What for? What?
For what?
At this point, for what? I've done large enterprise projects. I've done cloud projects. Doing marketing, digital project manager now for a marketing firm. So, what sense does it make for me to go get a PMP? It's not stopping in my inbox.
Well, PMP getting a little outdated anyway. If you're not a Scrum Master or a product owner, you kind of it's not like how it was 10, 15 years ago. 10, 15 years ago, you passed that exam, you was golden. People was knocking your door down, but it's not as looked upon as it used to be.
Right.
But quick question: what's the difference between that certification, the for cybersecurity? It's a
CISSP.
And then there's a CCA one.
Yeah, CC, not CCNA, CCSA or something like that. Yeah, security. So CISSP is probably the big dog of it. You know what I mean? The CCNA is, or the CCSA is, they got different governing bodies, but the CISSP, that's the one that's the big dog. Takes probably a lot of, it's probably what you would put similar to a PMP, where you got to have proven hours working with certain things. You got to learn all these different variations of internet security, your vulnerability management, the pen test and threat analytics, all that stuff. So, I don't know much about it because I had a little class that kind of introduced me to those things, a touch on it, but that's not necessarily what I'm in. Like I said, I'm in identity and access management. That's one piece of cybersecurity. And I'm going to roll with that narrow path. That's my path. I don't need all the rest of that other stuff. I just need that one path because that one path is paying. So that's the way I'm sticking with mine.
Oh, okay. That's the math, right? Multi-factor MFA.
That's MFA is part of identity access management too. So IAM is basically if you working in marketing and so Tiffany's working in IT, then you should not be able to, because of your profile and your role, you should not have access to IT. You should have access to marketing. You know what I mean? So we create the profile and the access that you should have. And then when you leave, you get your access terminated. You know what I mean? So that's part of IAM. The other part is it's a attestation that every 6 months, your manager should approve for you to have this role. Because you got some people who gain access to stuff because they had an old job and people didn't clean their profile up. So now you went from marketing to IT, but yet you still got marketing stuff under your profile. Now you're in IT. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a cleanup process, and banks and stuff use that very heavily with the audits and et cetera.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, man.
Yep.
Yeah, man. We got to do a show on cybersecurity.
Hey, you know I'm here.
Yes, that's a good.
I got you. You got me, and I got another guy who pretty much can talk on it very well as well. So I actually got several guys. One guy has his own consulting company and stacking a couple jobs as well. So he's doing very well.
I would love to have your son on the show, talk about his experience, dropping out and what he went through with, you and your wife as far as disappointment and, how he made the transition into his first IT role.
Y'all would love to hear the story. He ain't gonna tell that story, but I'm gonna tell that story right now. I'm gonna tell that story right now where the light bulb came on.
Okay.
So he was 20 at the time, maybe 19, and he got into it with the wife. You already know the wife. Don't play that. Mm-hmm. She was like, okay, so say what now? You can pack your shit and leave right now. Right? Mm-hmm. And so he was like, okay. So, he packing up his stuff. And she like, put it in the car. Like, come on, I'm over here playing the bad cop. Like, what we gonna do? Like, what's going on? And so she's like, he ain't gonna be in here. We end up taking him to the homeless shelter. We drove to the homeless shelter. He got his suitcase with his Nikes and his PlayStation and all that and put it on the side. Right there, getting it out the car. She turned the car around and we was pulling off. And a security guy jumped up out of the stand. Like, hey, what y'all doing? She's like, we found this homeless boy and he ain't got nowhere to go. And so the man said, he can't stay here. The intake ain't till Tuesday. It's Saturday. You got to take him wherever he got to go. He can't stay here. So ever since then, the light bulb popped in his head like, yo, this situation was so surreal that I need to do something here. I can't sit in there and play PlayStation all day in my room and live in the lap of luxury of my parents' home. I have to have a plan. And I think that's when everything changed.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Too. Sound like my mama, boy.
Mine too. Mine too.
Oh boy!
And I was a good kid, so I can't even imagine. That's a great story.
Yeah, man. Well, we are a little bit over, man. I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah.
And I definitely will hit you up afterwards, man, so we can chat a little bit, man.
All right.
So, any parting words, Kesey, my co-host, Tiffany?
Well, my parting words is, listen, never be afraid to do what you're destined to do. You know what I mean? You're never too old. You're not too young. Just go ahead and shoot for the skies. You know what I mean? Manifest good things into your life. You know what I mean? Speak it, write it down, live it, manifest it. You know what I mean? So do that. And as long as you continue to put things out that are good into the world, they will come back. So that's my parting words.
Got it.
My parting words are, we're celebrating Juneteenth. And when our ancestors were freed in the 1800s, they never imagined that we would be, they wanted so much for us. And here we are, 3 people of color who have basically started and continuing to build the life that, our ancestors only dreamed of, and then passing those dreams on to our children, those around us, to the audience. And we're just encouraging you to live freely, to find a way outside of what you do to pay your bills, to find a way to add some flexibility in your life so that you can invest time doing things that you were either meant to do, that you're passionate about. Maybe it's a sport, maybe it's an organization, maybe it's starting your own business. This is all just to open you up to doing something other than the mundane, and living out your dreams. You only get one life, folks, and so we're encouraging you to find a way to live it on your terms. So happy Juneteenth, and have a great week.
All right. Well, hope y'all enjoyed the show. Definitely like and subscribe, share it with your peoples. We will be back Monday after next, with some more heat, some more fire, some more jobs, because we didn't even get through all the jobs here. But the jobs are out there, people. I don't know what y'all waiting on, man. If you got to go back to that cubicle, I understand, man. It's a cold world out there.
Right.
But I'm in the kitchen right now. About to go get me something to eat. All right. Thanks, Tiff.
Thanks,
People,
Adrian.
we out.
Have a good night. Have a good week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.